Oh, hello everyone. I'm Alan. Today I'm going to present a paper about some fish. So what is some fish? Look at the picture on the right. It's not hard to guess what it is, right? Because its appearance is quite unique. In Chinese, we call them 翻车鱼. And third, there are some fun facts about some fish. First, it's the largest bony fish in the world. Second, some fish can lay up to 300 million eggs at a time. And last, its name comes from its unique behavior. It often floats at the sea surface to bask in the sun. Just look at picture for comparison. Some fish can actually grow longer than 3 meters. And this photo shows that it floats on the sea to bask in the sun. If you are not familiar with some fish, you may think it's just a dead fish drifting on the water. So why do some fish sunbathe like this? It helps them warm up, digest food better, and even get rid of pesky parasites on their skin. And after short introduction about some fish, you may have a question in your mind. Why is study some fish important? There are two things you should know. First thing is that some fish does not have complete data like other fish, and there have been few scientific study in the past. And last thing, some fish is an indicator species. The study found that the distribution range of some fish is extending northward, which is clearly related to global sea water temperature change. So, therefore, the research purpose is to determine whether this range has expanded northward and to investigate whether this change is associated with climate change or variation in food availability. So how can we understand some fish? The paper used an interesting map to study. It used data from bird observation station on Cape Clear Island in Ireland for analysis and simulation. And the data recording time is from April to October each year, a total of 47 years of data. In addition, environmental variables are collected including SST. SST mean is sea surface temperature. PCI mean phytoplankton color index and the jellyfish abundance. The SST data come from NOAA's extended reconstruction SST version 5 dataset. And PCI and jellyfish abundance data were obtained from the continuous plankton recorder. We call them CPR. The CPR is not only a device but also is an ongoing long-term research program. And the paper used 3 statistical models. Here's a quick look at each one. First, most of time observers don't see any sunfish, which means the data set contains a large number of zero. If we apply general statistical model, this excess zero can distort the result. To handle this question, the hurdle model separates the analysis into 2 steps. First, it determines whether some fish are present in a given observation, present or not present. Second, if some fish are observed, it then analyze how many were seen. By using this 2-step approach, we can more accurately capture and analyze population trend when some fish appear. And second, the mixed effect model helps separate 2 kinds of factors. Those that after whether some fish are seen, called fixed effects, and those that after affect how many are seen, like the year, trends as a random effect. This way, the result given us a clear picture of how some fish number change over time, without being thrown off by changing observation condition. After using mixed effect model to isolate the yearly change in sunfish abundance, the researchers then used general linear models to check whether their year-to-year change were linked to other factors, like sea surface temperature or how much food was available. And this graph shows the observation data of 47 years. The blue dots are the annual number of sunfish sightings, and the gray bar are the time span on observation each year. And you may have a question that the length of observation time is an uncertain influence factor. Yes, that's right. It is also important to consider the effect of observation efforts. We have to standardize, like this one. And this one is a just graph. And we can clearly know that number of sunfish began to increase after 1990 and reached a peak around 2000. The main reason is that change in seawater temperature and the northward shift of the 13 isoland have led to the expansion of the sunfish distribution. However, the number declined in 2010. It may by the other factor or a decline in observation efforts have led to a decrease in sighting rates, but this requires you have further analysis. And here's some figure that we analyze using the statistical model I mentioned before. This one shows the occurrence rate of sunfish. The left graph shows how that relate to the 33-degree isoland, and the right one shows the effect of jellyfish numbers. The blue dots are observation after 1990, and the red one is before 1990. The y-axis shows something called the random effect of year. So what does it mean? Besides things like sea condition or observation time, which are fixed effects, and the number of sunfish seen each year might also be affected by other things we didn't measure, like weather patterns or change in migration. That's where the random effect come in. In this study, the year is treated as a random effect, which help the model separate out the noise from year to year change and focus on what's really affecting the sunfish, like temperature. And what do we see from this graph? We can see sunfish occurrence rate is highly related to the movement of the 33-degree isoland, but not really affected by jellyfish number. So by the way, the siphonophore, right? Okay, anyway, are food for some fish. So this paper used the abundance of jellyfish to explore the change in the activity range of some fish. These two pictures are the result of abundance number of some fish. It can be clearly seen that the results are the same as the previous one. Then we mentioned that the distribution of some fish is linked to the movement of the 33-degree isolands, where it turns out that these isolands have shifted from 49.3 to 51.5 degrees north. That's a northward movement of about 277 kilometers. So based on this paper, here are some quick conclusion and key takeaways. First, you should remember that the occurrence and the abundance of some fish are positively correctly with the latitude of 33-degree isoland. And second, the occurrence and the abundance of some fish will not increase because there are more jellyfish. Last, as I mentioned before, the data supporting this study come from bird observatory, so citizen science can actually bring value to marine science. Okay, this is my presentation. Thank you for your listening.
This time is better than first time, and you explain that the detail of the figure is very good. And at I'm not sure at page 14, your red dot and blue dot. Red dot and blue dot are all at the observational data after 1990. Yeah. Yeah. The last point is your speaking speed and pronunciation is clear and easy to follow. It's very good. Thank you.
So I think you do get more content in this presentation, and I think that's good. But your major problem is that you need to stop looking at your script and do more contact to us. And what you makes me feel is that you're not familiar to your talk, and the parts you talk about statistics, I'm lost. And I think you need more time to understand to your topics and make it more easier for us and but also for yourself. And but I think you did pretty good, a great job compared to your first presentation. Yeah.
Thank you. The speaker have a good speaking speed and clear pronunciation. The presentation includes many figures that help the audience understand the content. However, some slides, for example, 11, contain too many text, make it difficult to follow. And you should use some mouse to show audience where you are talking about.